Hi, I'm Barbara from Bee's Kitchen and Garden, where I share with you successful recipes and gardening tips. Today's recipe is for warm spice apple slices. Absolutely delicious as a side dish, as a dessert, or even more special, over vanilla ice cream. Thank you to my subscribers. Yes, you are looking at a different kitchen. We have moved, and this is the kitchen in our new home. Let's get started with this absolutely delicious recipe. For this delicious and easy recipe for quick warm spice apple slices, get your ingredients together. You can use either an apple core to slice your apples or a regular knife to slice your apples. Otherwise, check the ingredients list for apples. Now, one hint, I use Gala apples because they are thinner skinned than other varieties of apples, and I prefer to leave the skin on for the nutrients. Okay, let's get started. I'm using a knife to slice my apples. While I'm slicing them, I want to start getting the butter to melt in the pot. So take a medium to large pan, enough for your 4 apples to go in, and 6 tablespoons of butter, which is 3/4 of a stick of butter, and put that on a low heat and start that melting while you slice your apples. And again, I prefer to use the knife. This also works. You just have to double check the size of your pieces, make them bite size, and don't cut them too thin. If you cut them too thin, they'll fall apart in the cooking process. So make nice, chunky, bite-sized apple pieces. I've almost got my 4 apples in. I find it takes me about 1.5 minutes to slice each apple. So this really is a quick recipe. Our butter is melting. I'm going to finish slicing my apples. So all the apple slices are in. Now take your spoon, coat them with butter, just a little stirring. Turn up the heat a little bit, and we're going to give them a chance to cook while we fix our sauce. To make our simple, easy, and delicious sauce, be sure to use apple cider and make sure it's cold. Anytime you're using cornstarch with a liquid, the liquid has to be cold or it will lump. So, 1 cup, where's my 1 cup of cold apple cider. There you go, 1 cup. 4 teaspoons of cornstarch. And I'm just going to mix everything in my measuring cup so I don't have too many dishes to wash. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now is the time to make sure you stir in your cornstarch really well and get all those lumps out. They're not very many, especially because it's nice and cold apple cider. The apple cider lends such a wonderful flavor to this sauce. Okay, that is set. Now we're going to add 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar and mix that in well. Meanwhile, our apples are doing nicely. They're slowly cooking in the butter. And of course, stir them occasionally to make sure they all get coated with that butter. Oh boy, it's looking great. We're almost there. Next, cinnamon. 3/4 of a teaspoon. So that's a 1/2 teaspoon and a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. Here's the 1/2 teaspoon. And here's my 1/4 teaspoon. Then, 2 more things to make it nice and tasty. One is ground nutmeg. You want a 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. That's the little one. And 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. I love the smell of allspice. I love the smell of all these spices. I can't choose favorites. I love the cinnamon. I love everything. Mix that really well. Mix everything in really well. I have my ingredients for the sauce mixed really well. I'm going to stir the apple pieces, basically fold them over with a spoon. You don't want to have the apples break up. Keep the chunks. Now I'm going to put the sauce in with the apples. It's going to be very liquidy. But remember, we used cornstarch. So as it heats, it will start to thicken. The longer you cook it, the thicker it will get. We're getting about to the consistency that I like, but you decide for yourself how thick you want your sauce. Continually spoon it over the apples. They are absorbing all of that absolutely terrific flavor. Here is our wonderful, warm, quick spiced apple slices. Use it as a side dish. Use it as a dessert. Or, for a special treat, spoon it over some vanilla ice cream. Wonderful flavor.